Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name's Kristen, and today I'm making some liquid ghost nails. They turn out so cute, I can't wait to share the process with you. And while I'm making these nails, I'm also going to try to give some spooky ghost movie recommendations. So I hope that all sounds fun to you. Be sure that you are subscribed and like the video. And let's go over a couple of basics because I got a few new subscribers from last week's video. Thanks everyone for the love and support on that. It meant so much to me. And welcome to anyone who's new. So on my channel, I like to try to blend my love of horror movies with my love of making nail extensions. And it's kind of in an experimental phase right now, but I do put a lot of work and love into the videos that are themed around movies. Today, we're going to do just kind of like a list of movies that I really love and I think would be good recommendations if you're looking for a ghost movie to watch during this Halloween season. And I will occasionally explain what I'm doing with the nails, but a lot of it can be pretty self-explanatory, but I will do my best to pop in when needed. If you have any questions about how I'm making these or what I'm doing, please let me know in the comments section. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And I'm also a brand ambassador for Tickled Pinque Canada. You can use my code STAB10 in Canada and in the USA only. I will be using a fair amount of their products today. This is their white gel polish, and I'll also be using their base and top coat. Should I have given a trigger warning for the duck nails? I know that some people have like a very adverse reaction to seeing flared nails, so I'm sorry if you really hate these. It was just like important to the ghost design that they be flared nails, you know? Okay, I'm going to go through my movie recommendations in categories. Our first category is going to be retro ghosts. These will be movies that were from the 70s and 80s, starting with a movie that I really enjoy called Witchboard from 1986. I wouldn't necessarily consider this movie scary, but it's a solid movie, and if you like the kind of like Ouija board ghost stuff, then this is one that you will definitely enjoy. Next will be the movie The Fog from 1980. This is a newer watch for me. It's a very simple, kind of basic ghost story, but it's ghost pirates, so I don't know, the ghost pirates got me. I was like, woohoo! There's a legend of a ghost ship from where I'm from, so that's was kind of on my mind, and I think that's why I enjoyed it a little bit more overall. I'm going to switch back to the nails for a moment because I wanted to talk about this technique that I made up, basically. So I'm just taking two little balls of sticky tack and placing them on a base nail. I'm going to take a duplicate nail that's clear. So if the base nail is a size 4, then the top nail is also a size 4, like it's the same size. And yeah, I'm just going to line it up so that it's like even around the edges and there's room for glitter and liquid to float around. They do end up like looking pretty thick, like they do. I might have been able to make this thinner, I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'm going to seal up one side using the Dash Nails glue from the kit I featured last week. Once it's cured, I just pull out the sticky tack and I seal up the other side around the cuticle, and I reinforce the corners and close up the bottom a little bit, leaving just like a small hole for me to put the liquid and the glitter and everything. I thought it was a pretty neat idea for making a tank, like a full cover duck nail tank. I mean, yeah. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, so if you have any thoughts about it, definitely let me know. But next on our retro ghost movie list is the Amityville Horror from 1979. This is actually my favorite ghost movie ever, I think. If you were to ask me what my favorite horror movie is, a lot of the time this one kind of pops into my head right away. I love the two main characters. I always feel like a crazy sense of dread when I'm watching it. And yeah, I just think it's a classic for a reason, and it's always good for a rewatch, in my opinion. I was hoping to include at least a few movies that you might not have heard of before. So the last one from our oldies list is going to be Dark Night of the Scarecrow from 1981. This was actually a made for TV movie. So it kind of has that feel to it. You know, it's not super scary, but it's quite good. It's a solid movie and one that I would recommend if you haven't seen it before. The next category is going to be foreign ghosts for those of you who are okay to be reading subtitles. First up is Shudder from 2004. This is a Thailand movie, and it's really spooky about this photographer who starts capturing this like entity or something in his pictures. So, yeah, I remember this one giving me the creeps, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check this one out. Next is Ju-on the Grudge from 2002. This is a Japanese film, and those Japanese ghost horror movies, they just hit different. They're very scary. This one I would almost classify as a haunted house one, and there's also a Netflix series called Ju-on Origins. So if you enjoy that original one and you want more of that content, then check out that series. Our next category is indie ghosts. So these would be smaller, independently financed films. And the first one is strictly for if you're feeling in a very silly mood, and that would be the movie Slaxx from 2020. Slaxx is a horror satire. There is commentary on the retail industry. I did used to work in retail, and if you've ever worked in retail, this movie will resonate with you on some level. Yeah, so Haunted Killer Pants. I actually kind of love this movie. It's not great, it is low budget, you can tell, and it does kind of fall apart at the end, but I feel like it was still worth the watch. Next is Talk to Me from 2022. The embalmed hand of a medium enables a group of teenagers to interact with spirits on the other side with some fairly alarming consequences. Keep your eye out for this one, it is very good. And our last one for this category is House LLC from 2015. I love found footage, and that's exactly what this is. If you end up liking this movie, there are two more. There's actually a trilogy for this one, and it comes together in a pretty satisfying way. It is low budget, you can tell, but you can also tell that a lot of care went into these movies. So if you like found footage horror, I definitely say check out the Hell House movies. And we're going back to the nail set. So, the pinky, I filed down too far. I was trying to make it not so clunky around the cuticle. There was a hole. I tried to seal it up. It didn't work. So I'm going to have to remake this one. I'm just going to do it off camera. Oh, it's so sad. So yeah, I'm just going to move on to the other nails and I'll deal with making that pinky nail later. Do y'all see the little ghost fimo slices that I'm going to be using? They're so freaking cute. It's like a ghostception, a floaty ghost inside a ghost, and I love that. Wee. Okay. I'm actually moving through this ghost movie recommendation list pretty quickly. I only have a few more left to talk about. I am curious though, if I were to ask you what your favorite ghost horror movie is, what would it be? And let me know in the comment section. Oh, and, ooh, I don't know if I should ask this, but I kind of want to know who believes in ghosts and who doesn't. I mean, spoiler, I do believe in ghosts. I used to not. It wasn't until like later in my life that I do, but yeah, let me know down below. Are you team ghost, or are you team that's a hoax? All right, so this is the first nail that turned out pretty much how I wanted it to. I'm checking it for oil leaks, but it's all good. And here's how the rest of them are looking as well. They're so cute, even like this, honestly. But I did want to cover, all the glue marks and, around the edges and stuff. So I am going to add detail by painting them. Oh, there he is. So we're going to turn all the nails into something like this. And while I'm painting these, let's go through the last category, which is mainstream ghosts. A handful of movies that you've likely seen or at least heard of before that are always just like a reliable movie that's good to watch when you're feeling spooky. Let's start with Hereditary from 2018. Now stay right where you are, don't move, do not unsubscribe, okay? Every time I talk about one of these movies, I lose a couple people. Like, I'm sorry, I know that a lot of people really hate this movie. I don't know why the passion, but it is one of my favorite go-to movies for when I really want to be scared, because it's a really intense movie. So for an intense scare, I would recommend this one. And moving right along, I'm going to recommend, out of the Conjuring universe, The Conjuring 2 from 2016. This is a really great movie, hands down. It's based on a real story, and it's surprisingly, I'm not going to say surprisingly accurate because there's a lot of nuance in that, but I also wanted to quickly mention a mini series called The Enfield Haunting, and it's based on the same case, and the similarities between this movie and this series are remarkable. So if for some reason the beautiful romance between Ed and Lorraine Warren that's portrayed in The Conjuring 2 isn't really your thing, check out the mini series called The Enfield Haunting. It is a really good look at the real life story, right down to like the furniture and the look of the house. Everything was recreated and reenacted as like pretty close to the real story. So highly recommend that series or the movie, depending on what you're in the mood for. The last movie I want to recommend is Oculus from 2013. This is a great little film written and directed by Mike Flanagan. If you're not sure who that is, he also is like the writer-director behind The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, and a lot of other really great TV shows and movies. This guy knows ghosts, okay? He gets it. So literally watch anything by Mike Flanagan. And that's it for my movie recommendations to go along with my ghosty nails. I hope it was fun for you, and I hope that you found a couple of movies that you haven't seen before and you're going to check out. Oh, I should mention I was just using the shading gel from Nails by Dev to add dimension to the ghost, I guess. So I just went around with that shading gel and I felt like it really made it pop. I do have some mixed feelings about the gray outline, but it was really all I could come up with in terms of covering the seal area. In hindsight, I wish I had tried a nude color instead of the gray to maybe help hide how chunky and thick the nail is overall. Okay, I'm creeping in with the finished set. Boo, bitches! I am actually so obsessed with how these turned out. They're so cute. Yeah, the side profile leaves a bit to be desired. I should figure out a way to make them a little more dainty. But I mean, for the effect I was going for, I think they turned out awesome. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for being here. You're amazing. I appreciate you so much. Please let me know your thoughts below. I hope you had a fun time with all the movie recommendations, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!